Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 542. My name is Kristin Omdahl, and we're here live in Southwest Florida watching the sunrise, possibly over the buildings and the trees to the east. It is awfully cloudy this morning, and we have the beautiful Gulf of Mexico behind me and lots of curious birds. Maybe we have Curious George here today, too. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you're crafting. Let me know what you worked on over the weekend. Let me know if you have any questions for me or just say hello. Hi, Lucy, Pamela, Christine. Thanks for joining live. Hi, Thea and Judy. It is chillier than I expected out here this morning, and I am not dressed for it. Hi, Lisa and Jane and Austin Craft Corner. Good morning, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, yes, look at these two. Look at these two over here. Hi, guys. Good morning. Oh! Ooh, they're a little crabby. Did you see that one was trying to bite the other one in the butt? Hi, Barbara and Diane. Good morning. Hi, Lisa. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Craft Corners would like tips on promoting new patterns. Yeah, I guess they're getting territorial. Yes. Hi, Carrie Mate. Hi, Thea. Hi, Carmen. Diane's freezing in Central Florida. I think it's 55 degrees here, and it's windy and damp at the beach, and I just have a thin sweatshirt on, so I'm not dressed for it. No, I'm not dressed for it. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's awfully pretty here, though, and there's some glowing peach in the sky at the horizon at the end of the beach down here that's really pretty. See to the right of the skyline of buildings where the land ends and the water begins. That's really pretty down there. And then there's some lightness in the sky at this end of the horizon, and the rest of the sky is very cloudy. In fact, it was raining before I got here, and I took the chance that maybe we wouldn't get rained on, but the ground is wet, and anyway, we'll see how long it lasts. Yes, the sand is cold and damp. Yes, Judy, and it's windy. And you know I'm a big baby when it comes to cold weather. But it is nice to be here. Hopefully you can hear the waves. The colors are beautiful. The waves sound great. Lots of birds. Oh, we've got a bird sitting right behind me too. How cute is that? Oh, actually we've got like 4 over here watching. This cutie watching here. You know, we pretend like they're interested, right? But you know it's only because tourists have been feeding them over the last month. But anyway, we'll pretend that they're interested in what we're doing. Yep, it's not snowing, but I wouldn't be sitting on the ground if it was. So anyway, any new colorways? I have lots of brand new colorways that just came out, Austin Craft Corner. If you haven't been to my website recently, I have just in the last couple of weeks released a bunch of brand new beautiful colors in Be So Sporty yarn, Be So Fine yarn, Be So Soulful yarn, Be So Fine bling, and Be So Sporty bling. If you want to go check those out, there is a link to my website in the video description below, or you can go to kristinomdahl.com and click on the yarn. Yeah, I've got lots of brand new beautiful colors. Any other questions before we get started? Hi, buddy. Looks like I can read the comments without glasses again today. What do you know? I went to the store this morning. This is I like to buy flowers, and I love to buy flowers for myself. And sometimes I don't, so for a budget thing or, whatever I'm thinking about money. And so I haven't been buying myself fresh cut flowers in quite a while. And I am doing the photo shoot for one of the last projects for 52 crochet gifts today. And it's going to be a market bag. And I wanted to photograph it with something inside it, and I was like, oh, that sounds like an excuse to buy flowers. So I bought these beautiful roses in like a mauvey purple color. They're so pretty. And I had seen them at the store last week and wanted to buy them and said, oh no, you don't need flowers. You don't need to buy flowers. But I justified this morning for a photo shoot. So when you see the photos come out, you can remember how excited I was about finding them. They're like this mauve purple, like not quite a lilac, not quite a lavender, not a violet. It's somewhere like there's a mauvey pink to it too. They're really pretty, and I ended up getting two sets. One that's a little more red violet and one that's a little more mauve, and I'm going to mix them together for the photo shoot, and it's going to be so cute. Anyway, so I stopped there on the way this morning and kind of trying to feel out the weather because it had been raining before I left. And so I cleaned my windshield wipers off as I parked in the store. I said to myself, if there are any raindrops on the windshield when I get out of the store, then I'll go back home and do the podcast on the back porch. And there were no raindrops on the windshield, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to push through. Glad I did, because even if we have to cut it short, at least it's pretty colors, so that was a good experiment. I've done lots of videos, Christine, on how to recharge. There's whole playlists here on my YouTube channel. When you're on my YouTube channel, there's a search bar separate from the whole YouTube search bar. If you actually go to my channel page, it will give you a search this channel search bar, and you can search for chart reading. And I have an entire playlist on videos on how to read charts. There's lots and lots of information there. That might be a great place to start, because there's not much to reading charts, but until you know what to do, it's obviously like another language. But once you understand how to read them, it's opening up a whole new world for yourself. If you go to that playlist, there might even be a link in the video description below, because I know I shared quite a few on the channel itself. Does everybody know that once you're on a YouTube channel, you can actually search that channel, which is really convenient, because when you're searching all of YouTube, it can be so overwhelming and hard to find what you're looking for, that if you're on a channel, so like for example, my channel is youtube.com/user/Kristin Omdahl. So, or if you click on my picture or click on my name when you see something about me here on YouTube, it'll take you to my channel page, which will have a channel intro video, it'll have a header, all that stuff. Once you're there, there are tabs for videos and playlists and community. I feel a raindrop. And you can click on playlists there and scroll down and find the How to Read Charts playlist. Or there is a search bar that says search this channel. And on there, you can search just my videos, which is overwhelming in itself. I have well over 1,000 videos anyway, but so it's really helpful to have that search bar when you're on the channel page. So hopefully that helps. And yes, you should definitely watch videos on how to read charts. Very, very helpful. Okay, only one raindrop, so that's still encouraging. So over the weekend, I had some experience talking to people in a variety of different types of domestic violence situations. And without getting into too much detail, I did want to talk a little bit about it this morning for a couple of reasons. You know that 1 in 3 women will be affected by domestic violence in their lifetime, and 1 in 4 men will be affected by domestic violence in their lifetime. And when you include the LGBT community, those numbers go up even higher. So whether or not you are a victim or a current victim or a survivor of domestic violence, you are very likely to know someone who has gone through it or unfortunately is going through it right now. And although sometimes there isn't, sometimes you have to remember that people need to make their choices themselves, and judging them, getting frustrated with them, getting angry with them will not help their situation at all. The only thing you can do sometimes is remind them that they are not alone, right? They're dealing with enough demons on the inside. So if there's anything that you can do to just be a peaceful spot in the world for them to come, whether it's to talk about anything but their situation, or to about their situation, or to just be a sounding board for them to get ideas out of their head. Sometimes it's not about giving them your advice or telling them what they should do, which is hard when you care about somebody, right? This takes a lot of refrain to be able to do this. But sometimes it's just sending them a hello, thinking of you, or a silly meme, or something to just let them know that they are being thought of and they are not alone. Because one of the ways that, domestic violence doesn't happen overnight. It's a situation where you get controlled by and isolated by the person that's hurting, by your abuser, a little over a time. So it's a whittling down effect, and it will chip away at you over time before, and you don't realize how deep your hole is until it's bad. So from what I experienced this weekend, and I realized that because of the statistics that I just shared and everything, I just wanted to say that whether you are or not in a situation or a survivor of a situation, you certainly know people who are. And as hard as it may be, I just wanted to put out that reminder that they need a safe place to talk, or they need to know that somebody just still cares. Somebody doesn't think that they're a jerk or stupid or an idiot for their situation. Trust me, when somebody's in that situation, they already feel all those things, To be in that deep in a hole, you feel like an idiot. You feel like you've messed up for 100,000th time. You hate yourself. You don't need outsiders saying, how did you do something so stupid? Or how did you do something so stupid again? And it doesn't help, even though it can be very frustrating to watch someone that you don't agree with or you don't understand how it happened. I wanted to put it out this morning that sometimes it's just, if you can refrain from saying any of that stuff, you will do a world of good for somebody, even if it's just for that 1 minute, that 1 hour, or that one day that you refrained and just gave them some peace and love. I'm sure everybody's heard about what happened yesterday in California with Kobe Bryant and his daughter dying unexpectedly in a helicopter crash along with 7 other people. And, the world is shook by it. His poor wife and other children who lost their dad/husband, daughter/sibling. What a shock. And then for the Grammys to be live at the Staples Center last night was also very, emotional. But anytime something like this happens, it's also another reminder that life is short and we're only promised the day that we wake up, right? So between all of the roller coaster ups and downs I had over the weekend with people that I was trying to counsel, support in a variety of domestic violence situations, and then seeing that yesterday, I just felt overwhelmed to share a little bit of it this morning, because you never know how low somebody is, right? And what if your little text that says thinking of you with a heart, with no opinions, no advice, no telling someone what they should do, just thinking of you with a heart, what if that was the catalyst that made them feel better about themselves, right? Like months later, fast forward months later, years later, and they come to you and say, you know what? It was your text or your phone call that came with no judgment, that came with no advice, no condemnation. You just peacefully told me you were thinking about me. And it was that moment that I realized that I wasn't such a dirtbag, and I could maybe start turning my life around. So you never, when you do little acts of kindness, you never know how big it can put an impact on another person's life. And after yesterday, you never know when it's your last chance either. So I know it's a little deep for a Monday morning, but I really felt compelled to share that with you this morning. And the first month of my Buy One, Give One initiative with Project Kristin Cares is almost complete. And so on February 1st, I will go back and find all of the count up all the orders from January and donate that many pods of Rapture All Natural Delicate Wash to women's shelters. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see what the final number is. And we'll be doing that every month going forward. So for every product that you purchase from me, whether it's a PDF download, a book, a ball of yarn, a lingerie bag, a bottle of Rapture, it doesn't matter what you purchase. For every unit sold, I will be donating a pod of Rapture at the end of every month for every item that is sold. So yay, we can work a little bit on that together. I love the fact that it's a way that we can work together. Susan just came off the phone from a friend who's suffering from domestic violence. I couldn't read the rest of it. So sorry. So glad that you could be there for your friend. You know, I know how difficult it can be to watch someone who feels trapped and feels so paralyzed by their fear and by their situation that they don't do things the way those of us who think clearly think that they should do things. And I just, you know, any amount of patience and kindness that you can share with someone who's going through that is so amazing. So thank you for being there for your friend, Susan. I think that's awesome, and I know a lot of people here probably also would love to give you a hug and a pat on the back for being supportive of your friend. Does anybody have any questions for me? It looks like we only had that one raindrop. That was cool. Good morning, Joe. But it's just too hard to interrupt a sentence to say hello. So hello to everybody who joined while I was talking. Yes, no judgment, just caring, which is not always the first reaction for most people. So I think it's important to talk about because I know it's not always the first reaction that people have when they want to help. So I think it's important to bring it up and talk about it. It's just, same with, you know, someone going through different types of addiction. You know, have to try to not push your beliefs on them too much, and people need to help themselves. There's only so much you can do for someone until they're ready to make changes themselves, and that is one of the hardest things to do. Welcome, Donna. I'm so happy to help. You know, I don't know if you all know this, but one of my goals for myself personally is to eventually do public motivational speaking, possibly about domestic violence or, you know, other ways of being kind to other people. I'm not sure if I really want to focus specifically on domestic violence or if I want to focus more openly about being kind to other people. But one of my goals is to go into public speaking, and like I talk about all the time, yep, James keeps mentioning that there's free counseling at Naples at the Project Crisis Center. So anybody that is here in Naples, I have also been, there's one in Lee County as well, in Fort Myers. In fact, I actually went through the abuse counseling program in the Lee County one when I lived there. Jane worked there before. Wonderful. I almost worked at the Lee County one. My counselor wanted me to join their team when I made it through the program. And then it turns out they wouldn't let somebody who had been through the program be a counselor, which was kind of disappointing because I feel like someone who's been through it could definitely understand the point of view of the people coming in, but I also understood that they had policies in place, and that was around the time that I decided to start my own charity because I was so excited about the opportunity to be a counselor there and to help other people. And when they said that it was against their policy to let me join the team, I said, well, doesn't mean there aren't other ways that I can be helpful. Yeah, peer counseling is important, Jane. I agree. Hi, Cindy. So back to my goal of public speaking. Just like anything else that I've shared over the years, I talk about overthinking all the time, and I have this fear of, looking stupid the first time, right? Just like everybody else. So I'm terrified of like creating my first speech and doing my first, public speech. But I don't know, I thought maybe saying it out loud this morning might bring me a little closer, make me feel a little more accountable, because to go into public speaking and, possibly a TED Talk one day, that would just be so cool. And that's definitely on my wish list of things to do one day. Hi, Kim. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Lily. I smell food. They're cooking something close by. Thanks, Joe. I can picture myself on the stage doing it. I definitely want to go there eventually. It's definitely on the top of my list of things to do that I haven't done yet. Like, I guess professional bucket list, let's call it that, right? Thanks, Jane. I feel like, having not only been doing video for so many years, all the years on Knitting Daily TV and Knit and Crochet Now, all the years here on my YouTube channel, but most specifically doing the live stream podcast now 542 times, I keep saying in the back of my head, this is your experience, this is your education, this is what's going to make you a better public speaker. So I'm always saying that in the back of my head, but then as soon as I go, okay, well, let's write one and try it out, and then I go, ah! I haven't gotten that far, Donna. I can't decide if I would focus on domestic violence or focus on, just being kind to each other, but something definitely inspirational and motivational along those lines. I just I haven't been at that stage. I'm still at the overthinking stage where I make excuses. Yeah, I could start anywhere, Jane. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely would come from a place of non-judgment, Judy. Absolutely. No, I haven't heard anything on Marlon's opportunity in Tampa, and he has asked me to not share it publicly. So, I'm going to apologize in advance for not being able to share any details with you, but I am going to respect his privacy. He has not been in the public eye for 16 years like his mom, so he's not as comfortable sharing details of his life online, and I can understand that. If he does move there for his opportunity, I will definitely be sharing it with you, because that's my perspective, me becoming an immediate empty nester. But until he's ready to share the nature of it, I won't be sharing the nature of it. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that I won't be sharing every juicy detail in the short term, but in the long term I will be able to. But no, we don't have a final word on it yet. I know that sounds vague, but I'm telling you as much as I can, I promise. Hopefully you understand. Any other questions for me? I love all the questions. Thank you. Is that Alicia? I can't remember what your first name, what the A stands for. Thank you that I look great. I do have new makeup. I know someone said the other day it's not my makeup, I just look great. Well, thank you very much. But I am wearing a more substantial foundation lately. I have gone to a liquid foundation instead of just the pressed powder one. And it's a cheap brand at like the drugstore. It's called Milano, I think, something like that. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself tomorrow. Sandshell finished her Tilly lace knit scarf. Wonderful, and she loved it. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, anybody who worked on any projects over the weekend, I mentioned that at the beginning of the podcast. If you want to share it, great. If you want to share your photos, you can do that in the Create, Share, Inspire Facebook group. There's a link to that in the video description below as well. It is a private group, so if you are comfortable sharing there, you can feel safe knowing that it's only the podcast community that's there. It's not public. Other people on your Facebook feed can't see it. I know a lot of people here appreciate that it's private. Pamela's been working on a Cape trivet even with a splint. Good for you. Yeah, just take it nice and slow. Don't push yourself too hard if you're in a healing place right now. Yeah, I know. I'm saying that to myself too. I think one bird is looking. That's awesome. I do like them here. Yeah, finished projects are good. Christine's working on the Sarah scarf. Good for you. I think several other people have made that as well. I know I love mine. And as you know, lots of the projects from, Lisa's just worked on the Lucinda scarf. Wonderful. Many of the projects, these are projects that are being mentioned from 52 Crochet Gifts. And there is a playlist here on YouTube for tutorial videos for the projects that have been released so far. And I'm working on more tutorial videos, but by the time the book is done and the videos are done, it will be a paperback book of 52 Crochet Gifts plus video tutorials for each of the projects. Won't that be fantastic? In the meantime, it is thanks for the link, Melissa. Melissa's put up a link for the private Create, Share, Inspire Facebook group if anybody's interested in checking that out. What was I saying? So at the moment, 52 Crochet gives a pre-order ebook. You can order the ebook on sale right now, and each week I release new patterns until all 52 are released. Then it will go back to regular price. But anybody who did the pre-order will also get a discount code when the paperback book comes out to get a discount, buy them together. If anybody just wants the paperback, they could order that at that time. And if anybody just wants any one of the individual patterns, as they're being released for the book, they're being released as a single PDF pattern in my single pattern shop as well. So no matter how you want the patterns, they're all there, whether it's as a PDF, an ebook, a video tutorial, or as a paperback book. The paperback book's not ready yet, but it will be when all the patterns are released. Judy's excited for the paperback to come out. Me too. It's going to be the biggest book I've ever written. In fact, even though 80 handmade gifts, the number 80 is bigger than 52, this will actually, because the things that were non-knitting and crochet in that book took up less space, I was able to get 80 project ideas into less pages because we incorporated food gifts and crochet gifts, knit gifts, sewing gifts, and all sorts of other miscellaneous craft gifts. A lot of those could be written very short. Well, as you know, crochet is not really short. Plus, in my books, I add charts as well as the written instructions. So for 52 crochet gifts, it's going to be the biggest book with the most pages of any book I've ever written, with other publishers or as an independently published author. So it is definitely the biggest one, which is exciting in itself to accomplish. What else? Yeah, and exciting. And then I have other things coming when we finish the book. I'm going to go in a slightly different direction for a while, do something else. Thanks, Melissa, for posting other links for everybody. I appreciate it. And also, if you watch this in the recorded version, not the live version, there is a link to all of the things that we talk about in the video description below as well. Does anybody have any other questions for me? Hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining live. I can't believe hopefully, not hopefully, but I guess it's going to rain as soon as we stop. And I'm glad about that. I didn't really want to get rained on. Certainly didn't want my phone getting rained on down here. Hi, Edna. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Desiree. All right, well, anybody that didn't watch the podcast last week, I said that as I come down to the beach to do the podcast while I'm still healing from my surgery, I will not be able to bring anything with me. I'm on pretty strict weight restrictions. I can't carry much. I barely carry my tripod and the towel to get down here. So the only thing that I'll be bringing down here, no yarn, no tutorials, nothing like that, for the live stream podcast, obviously tutorial videos, totally different situation. I am bringing a random Create, Share, Inspire notebook to share a quote at the end of the podcast because I know we all enjoy this. So let's... Not feeling that one this morning. We've done a few of these recently. Find something that we haven't done recently. Ooh, this is a good one. This is by Francis of Assisi. The one you are looking for is the one who is looking. I love this. This reminds me, I've heard this in a bunch of different ways, and I know you have too. Whatever it is you're seeing out there in the world, it already exists within you. And, meditation is so helpful and healthy and therapeutic in lots of different ways, and especially for finding out what it is you're looking for, what it is that you want, and what it is that already exists inside you, what it is that's lovable inside you. There's so many different ways to use meditation, or so many results that can come from meditation. Loving yourself more, feeling more at peace with yourself, feeling more at peace with others, not seeking others' approval, not seeking anything from other people, and actually deriving all of your happiness and contentment from within. These are all things that are the direct result of meditation. If you've never meditated before, there are videos on YouTube to teach you how to do it. There are apps for your phone if you want to start with guided meditation. So many different ways to do it. And if anybody has any questions about it and would like me to talk more about it, we could do that on a future podcast. But we are all out of time, so I'll read the quote one more time. The one you are looking for is the one who is looking, and that's by Francis of Assisi. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed, well, not exactly the sunrise, but I hope you enjoyed the waves, the beautiful colors, the friendly birds chatting with me and everyone else. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I have another podcast scheduled for Thursday morning, and I'll have other videos being released every day this week. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.